Here we are again on another Saturday Night Live Zoom. We didn't have any scheduled interview guests to share their story this week. Next week, I think we have somebody. You guys are all open. Ask some questions.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of talking and just repeating myself a lot, but if there's anything you guys want to share, now's the time, so we can help resolve any issues, hopefully, or new ideas. This extreme realm of fasting, as most people look at it. They look at us like we're from another planet when we tell them we're, on a fast, especially when you start saying for months. A few weeks, they think you're crazy, and so most people, but when you start going for months, they're going, where are you guys coming from? So it's just a whole different understanding of what our true nature is, the way our body's designed. Fasting is as natural as breathing. We're doing it all the time. You go into the wild. As soon as animal gets injured or ill, it stops eating and drinking. If it breaks a leg, it ain't going to be looking for water to drink. It's going to sit there and put all that energy into healing. And the beauty and the cruelty, I guess you can put, of nature is that it's designed for the strong species to survive and carry on as a species. So we can't have weak carrying on in that species, or it would vanish very quick. It wouldn't be able to survive. If you had a weak lion or something, it wouldn't be able to kill another animal. Couldn't run fast enough, for example. So it's a perfect system from creation, which keeps an equilibrium, balance at all times and all ways. That us as humans, believe that we understand it, but we have very little understanding. The beauty of it is that we don't need to have an understanding. If we back off and just let it happen, it all resolves itself. I like the analogy of you get a seed, whatever kind of seed you have. If you have an almond, for example, put it in the ground. It falls off the tree, it goes in the ground, has the right conditions, it starts to sprout, and it'll turn into a tree. No mind needed. How beautiful is that? It grows perfectly into a tree or any seed of any plant. So where's that intelligence come from? It's built within the soul of the seed. The soul is contained within the seed. And we have a soul as well, which resides within our brain. There's an empty spot right in the center of our brain, and that's where the soul resides in physicality. So that access to that infinite wisdom of information, which comes from creation, resides within us all. So this is the magic, we call it magic or whatever. We stop eating and, things start correcting themselves like magic. It's incredible what I've seen happen with people going on fasts. Like, it's just, it's just some things are just, jaw dropping and wow, like everything is possible. When you start seeing bones straightening out that people were born from birth and stuff like that, like, wow, nerves, whatever you want to call them, tumors shrinking and stuff like that. That's okay, but I'm talking about genetic people that are born with genetic issues that were, so-called defects or whatever, and things can turn around and correct themselves. These are pretty amazing things when you look at it. So, the key to successful fasting is, number one, we have to love it. We have to love it so much that it becomes part of our life and we look forward to the next fast. That's the way we need to do if our focus is a healthy lifestyle. Eating 7 days a week is something that I can't say it's natural, because we're not hungry every day. If we pay attention to all the times that we eat and we're not hungry, it's quite often. It's either a social event, by the clock, lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever, snack time, a little gurgle in the stomach. Oh, I got to eat. These are not true hunger signs. And this is how we have to learn to tap into that inner wisdom and start asking the proper questions. Like, you think about food, you're seeing somebody eat, and you want to reach for something. Ask yourself, am I truly hungry? Do I really need to eat something at this moment? And if we practice that, we'll come at the end of the week and see that we won't be eating 7 days a week. It's not going to happen. The 3 meal a day plan, I don't know where that came up with, but more than likely marketing of some sort, just like the marketing of bottled water when that started. I'm not sure what year that was in. Did it start in the 70s or 80s, bottled water? Maybe. It hasn't been that long. But now, you go anywhere, driving your car, walking around, people are carrying bottled water around. It's a big strain on our environment. The empty plastic bottles from bottled water that's being sold. It's a massive, massive strain in our ecosystem, in our oceans, and so on and so forth. That's one of the problems. And it's something that is so unnatural. Keep forcing yourself to drink this water to try and quench a thirst that can't be quenched by drinking water. The issue lies at the cellular level, and water, from my experience and my understanding, will never solve it. It doesn't matter how much water you drink a day.
It also depends on how people are eating, right?
Yeah, that's the key.
And if they're thirsty, I would say drink if you're thirsty, because you're toxic.
Well, the water is a buffer when you're starting to eat a lot of these cooked foods or salted foods. The body's going to require something to buffer, and that would be the easiest thing for most people would be to reach for water.
Yeah.
But at the cellular level, nothing's happening, nothing's changing. It's just making the situation worse from what I've seen with my experience.
Yeah,
it turns you into a more dehydrated state. It starts stripping you when you're drinking, especially people start drinking large amounts of water. People post photos of, they started drinking water for 30 days and now look at the skin and all that. Well, the body's holding on to water. And you're puffed up. So when you're puffed up, the wrinkles will go away and so on and so forth.
So the solution is what? Eat clean.
The solution is always to eat clean and fast.
Yeah. Yeah, eat clean at the end of the day. And when you're eating mainly raw food, you'll never be thirsty. And do not overdrink. I mean, if you're eating heavy food and you're thirsty, okay, drink, but no need to overdrink because you're told you have to drink 2-3 liters a day.
Yeah.
You know?
It's, people that, decide to eat some cooked food here and there. A glass of water here and there is not a big deal, but, I would move them towards going to herbal teas and some juices of some sort,
Green
in their
juice.
diet, some green juices or, a little bit of grape juice early in the morning, first thing. Keep some of that in your diet just to help with that. But and some fresh fruit would be the ultimate. That's the best. There's tons of juicy fruits are loaded with hydration properties. But these are big challenges for our society in today's modern man. It's not something that we've been brought up to have a proper understanding. The last 100 years, things changed a lot. Once the Industrial Revolution, everything, a lot of things changed to the way the human being lives and survives. Before the Industrial Revolution, people were, kind of growing a lot of their own foods and collecting and storing things through the winters and so on and so forth. So it's made it big changes with so-called modern technologies. And bottled water came along.
Yeah, all the packaged food. I mean, go to the supermarket.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's really.
Yeah.
It's all packaged.
I remember when we were kids. My mother make always homemade meals and stuff, and we were seeing, watching these commercials with this packaged foods, and that's what we wanted. And my mother's going, "Are you crazy? You can eat that stuff?" And lo and behold, it's taking over the whole industry, the whole food. And aren't you going to a grocery store and look at all this packaged food?
Pretty much, maybe 90% of what's there.
If people weren't eating it, it wouldn't be in the stores. So there's a lot of people eating this packaged foods. It's huge market.
Everybody's busy.
I believe probably the food business in general are the biggest industries on the planet. All the food businesses. Because everybody has to eat. Can you move over a bit? Everybody has to eat. And that's what we believe. But not everybody does eat. So, food is a survival thing in people's minds. That's what we've been brought up to believe, that we have to eat. And so many meals and so much calories and minerals, vitamins and fats and all this stuff. But, I don't look at any animals in the wild, looking at any charts according to how they have to eat or anything. It's ingrained within their being, the information that they need to survive, and they eat according to that plan. The environment will dictate dictate the outcome, and will change from species to species. I was looking at snow monkeys a couple of weeks ago, and people are talking about we're closest to the primates and so on and so forth, and we're frugivores because they're frugivores. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but if you look at the snow monkeys, they're in I think they're on an island in Japan. They eat everything. They eat small mammals. They eat, trees and stuff, and they're in an area where it snows, so there's no fruit in the winter, so they'll eat anything. And they're doing well. So the environment will affect what you eat. man has interfered with the balance of how nature operates by destroying habitat for certain species and so on, and pushing them in areas where they probably normally wouldn't live, like the high mountain gorilla. I don't think that that was the only place that they used to live at one time. They were probably spread everywhere, but man's, destroyed all their habitat and forced them into areas where it's not natural for them. They're mainly eating greens in those areas, but probably if it had fruit available, it would indulge in fruit for sure. So what do we do? How do we survive in this crazy world?
Just be.
One day at a time.
Just enjoy. Yeah, I mean, we are thankful. We are thankful, really, that we have access to fruit. Maybe it's not the best, but
yeah,
we have access to everything.
Here in Toronto, we have access to food from all over the world. Anytime. Mm-hmm. You want anything from anywhere, we have it here. It's all imported. A lot of it is not good quality, meaning it's not picked properly, right, and so on and so forth. To find ripe fruit is a challenge sometimes, but
but even the local stuff, like the other day I bought strawberries, and they were all unripe.
Even local.
Most of them were unripe. It wasn't worth it.
The whole concept of how to pick fruit properly is lost in man. But if you if we were forced to go back to nature and live off the land and eat fruit from the trees, believe you me, you'll know when a fruit's ripe.
Yeah,
you won't be eating unripe fruit.
When you grow your food, when you grow the food, you would know.
Yeah.
Because you will try and then try again, and, at different times. And,
I don't know if hopefully if you guys, there's some people that have never tried eating fruit off a tree, and it's a whole different experience. If you haven't tried it, I can't explain what the difference is, because it's vast. It's the energy, everything it's totally different experience. Like figs, I love figs off a tree warmed by the sun. We get them over here, and most of the time they're not ripe. And if you get a ripe one, a ripe batch, which is rare, the experience, I just don't like buying them. A completely different experience. It's night and day. You gotta have figs off a tree, warmed by the sun. And that's with any fruit. When you eat them off the tree, cherries off a tree, we have a cherry tree at the house we grew up at. My brother lives there, and the white cherries. And we go there, pick out, and then pick some, bring them home. And once they're in the bag in the fridge, and it's not the same. It's not the same. And there's no attraction to eat them. Eating them off the tree is a whole different thing. A whole different thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience to get plants right off a tree. Or, if you're in nature and taking wild herbs and chewing that, it's really nice. I did something interesting the other day. I have some nettle I planted in my backyard. It grows every year now. So I grabbed some leaves and rolled them up, and I put them in my gums. And I just kept it in there. And, you can do this with herbs. I chewed them a bit, so you break the walls. And I just kept them in there for like an hour. Really nice feeling in the mouth. And it opened up my kidneys a little. Just getting the energy from the plants. You don't even have to swallow. So, you can do that with any herb. Like you get what's the other one? Yeah, dandelion, horsetail. Horsetail is a great herb for people with teeth issues. Mix it with a leaf of nettle. The nettle stings, but if you grab it from the bottom, it won't sting you, and you roll it up. And you can eat raw nettle leaves. They won't sting. You might get a little bit of a sting, but the saliva controls it very, very quickly. Just don't touch your lips. It stings.
Mm.
But yeah, you can get some nettle, some stinging, some stinging nettle, and some horsetail. Wrap them up, put them in your gums, and do that daily if you're having issues with your teeth. Try that. That's a new tip. Really nice feeling. So many things. Nature's abundant, everly abundant. There's plants within where everybody, doesn't matter where you live, within a few miles of where you live, I'm sure you're going to be able to find a herb that you can use. And the ones that grow closest to you are the ones that you need. It's interesting. Like I have a very small backyard in the city, and it's interesting to see the different herbs that come up. In the different years, you'll have overgrowths of different herbs, which is beautiful to watch. So whatever you see, a lot of dandelions that year, you need some liver, some kidney help or whatever. So start indulging in that. In another year, it might have more plantain or something, so lymphatic system, so on and so forth. But it's very interesting when you see these things in nature. We don't understand it all, but we're all connected to everything, and continuously these plasmatic fields are all interacting with each other, the giving and taking, and the information's being exchanged. And this is how how life is formed, et cetera, et cetera. A certain environment will dictate a certain species to grow. I don't know if you guys ever heard of spontaneous fish being found after rainstorms in the middle of nowhere, like just in ponds in the middle of where there's no water, no rivers, no nothing. They had severe rainstorms, and all of a sudden you see puddles all over the place, and with live fish in them. Nobody brought those fish there. They actually are manifested because the conditions are met to create that life form. This is how all species are created. There's a forest in, I think it's in Borneo, in Indonesia or something. I read years ago that they were discovering a new species like every week in this rainforest. It's not that they just found them because that they were always there. New species are being created all the time. All the time. New conditions, new species will be created. Creation never stops creating. We get some species being extincted because of most of them from man's stupidity and what they're doing to the environment on this planet. There's I don't think there's anywhere on the planet we can go today and it's pristine. No such thing anymore. The whole planet has been contaminated, and from the highest mountain to the desert, everywhere, because it's in the air and it's being distributed all over the place. So these contaminants are everywhere from modern man, and this is only in the last 100 years or so with the so-called industrial revolution age when it started. Before that time, living was a whole different experience. Our grandparents, great-grandparents, they grew up in pretty pristine environments. Can't even compare to what we're living in today. And our children, hopefully, humanity starts waking up, and the next generations will have a cleaner environment instead of worse. Because if it keeps going, in destruction
we are
mode,
waking up more than ever.
Yeah, but it needs
With
to
the
be
internet?
quick. Like, chemical use and all this stuff should be instantaneously. You should be cut off very, very quickly. Within a year, we can turn everything around and start using only, balanced natural products to not interfere and disrupt our environments. It can be done very quickly. Is the level of consciousness of humanity in whole. We can point fingers and everything, but each one of us has contributed to it every time we buy something, which
we're responsible
attached.
for everything.
Yeah. So I don't know, I'm just blabbing around here. If you guys got any questions, Shoot them. Who do we have on today? Just a few people. It's a nice sunny day in Toronto, 29, 30 degrees. We've had not the best early spring weather. It was pretty cool and a lot of rain. And there's issues with floods here down at the lake. In some of these apartment buildings, the undergrounds are flooded. So interesting what's going on. Hopefully we get some good summer. We have Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Doug. Kelly. Hello, Bernie. N.A. Who's that? I don't know. Any questions, folks? Any experience you want to share? Jeffrey just got on. Hello, Jeffrey. How you doing, Jeffrey? Is there...
No, hi, Renee.
Who's speaking?
Jeffrey, I think.
Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Doing good, thank you.
You have a question?
No, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
No big deal. Just saying hi. Great. Nice to hear from
Okay.
you. Yeah, we're just, pass some time together. The importance of the support page is crucial. We have talk about homeopathy. Kelly can talk us too about homeopathy. Kelly, she's actually a practitioner, and she would be the best person to speak about it. I have limited knowledge in homeopathy, but it's the more you dilute, the more potent it is. Is my understanding. It's based on the principles of plasma. You're taking the information. Somebody has a mic open. You're taking the information of the plant, and as you dilute it over and over, it becomes more potent. And you basically, it's working on emotional level. Which is where everything happens, folks. The physicality is the illusion. Everything starts with emotion. Our physical body structure, everything is a reflection of emotion at our soul level. It's we can work through the physicality to affect the emotion, but it all starts upstairs. And challenges coming left, right, and center for people going on long fasts because so many of these emotions come to the surface and they've never come up before. A lot of people lock them up, and it's been amazing the information that people have been sharing that they've had locked up since childhood. So many people, and able to release those experiences to help find balance. But this is a lifetime thing that we work on to keep that balance, equilibrium happening. It's not something that we're going to be able to snap our fingers and solve all the issues. Oh, Kelly, she doesn't know how to use Zoom. We can unmute you.
Do you want us to unmute you?
We can unmute you, Kelly, and then see if you can talk. Maybe you can speak a few minutes on because you've been doing this for a while. But we've unmuted you, Kelly, so can you speak and see if we can hear you? Kelly? Maybe your settings are not correct for your microphone. Um, well, Kelly's a part of the admin team. She also has been practicing this. She works with a specialty, is I believe, autistic children, which is a big, huge need in today's society with all these vaccinations and foods that we're eating that are not even foods and so on. It's a big problem. I have two cousins that have been affected by vaccines, and it's pretty sad, you know, when it hits home. So I have a soft spot for autism children because you know they deserve much more than what's happened to them, and we got to do whatever we can to help these people find balance again. It's such a sad thing. Like it's the autism cases have skyrocketed in the last few years with these toxic concoction vaccinations that they've been using. One of the main issues is the mercury in the vaccines, but the other thing is they're doing so many in a short time that hasn't happened in the past when they started doing this stuff, and it just causes havoc in the human body. It's just a bombardment. It's just crazy. You know, I don't know. You know, man thinks that the creation made a mistake, and our immune system needs external sources to protect itself. The only reason we need that is because our immune system is shot through our, you know, lifestyles. But vaccination theory thing, it's, I don't think it holds much water. You're introducing stuff in the blood. It's completely different than when you're introducing to these things, bugs, diseases, whatever you want to call them, through natural environments, cases. It's completely different when you're introduced to the blood. So I don't want to get too much into the vaccine stuff, but it's the information's all out there today, and the some of these governments are still trying to force, like in Italy now, they're trying to mandate it to force every child to be vaccinated, or they get fines and so on and so forth. And also in Germany, I think they're doing something. It's just crazy, crazy. That's total slavery, you know. Doing stuff against anything against your will is slavery. You're being forced. Crazy stuff.
Hey, Gino.
Yeah.
This is Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Can you see my video?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm using a cell phone right now.
Yeah.
I've never.
1 sec. I just got to close the window here because there's noise from the traffic. We're downtown here. All right.
I've never shared my video because I'm very conscious of what I'm dealing with right now. But if you can see my right eye, I have very bad psychosis.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was working with Dr. Morse, my eyes would not move in any direction. I was so clogged up with lymph. It was horrible. I'm starting to break it up, and I just wanted to share with the board. That's the challenge that I'm working with right now. It's called mitochondrial myopathy, is what they call it.
Right.
I have a theory that there's an area in the ascending colon that connects electrical connectivity to the eyes, and that is on the bottom part of the ascending colon. And I believe I'm trying to loosen all that stuff up and clean it up. And this Master Fast is doing a great help for me.
Yeah, it's in the physicality, everything starts within the colon. That's where we have to focus on cleaning thoroughly, and it's not an easy task, as a lot of you are finding out. Even though you're on these cleanses for months, it's still it needs to be a lifestyle, and you know.
I just find that helpful if everyone could share some of their challenges, and then they could see how if there's any improvement.
My left eye, Jeffrey, used to be droopy a lot, and if I go into a lot of stress, you'll probably see my left eye a little droopy. It used to be really bad before. Like my brother has the same issue, and I'm sure it's from vaccinations. But after doing
Is
all
that
the
right?
sorry,
Is that right? It's from vaccinations.
I
I was on stat medications for 2 decades.
well,
All the other.
that ain't going to help. That's going to add to the problem as well. But after cleansing and cleansing and cleansing all these years, and it's most of the time it's fine. Like I said, unless I really stress myself out or something. But it used to be really bad. Like you can really notice. Like if you see my brother, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's very droopy.
Yeah. Well, I did computer work for 23 years, and they told me I can't use computers anymore. It's just too much. So I'm trying to reverse it. And
Forget about trying. Just focus and do what you need to do. We have all the tools available. I put up a video. When was it? A week ago or so on eye exercises, and you can do herbal high washes, or if you have ozone, you can do ozone eye washes. And if you do that with the exercise every day, and you're doing the master fast, slowly but surely you'll be able to allow the body to fix it all up, cleanse itself.
The eye tincture.
Yeah, eye tincture.
It's very powerful.
Yeah.
did it just touch one of your eyes? Is it safe to say that one of your kidneys wasn't filtering correctly? Is that what you think?
For myself?
Yeah, when you said one of your eyes was droopy, does that mean that one of your kidneys was worse than the other?
Well, that's part of the problem always, right? You have the two sides of everything.
The dark circles are the kidneys.
Yeah.
Well, my mom's breast cancer was on the right side. I don't know if there's any genetic weakness on the right side, therefore.
Could be. We take in all our weaknesses from our parents, grandparents, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It goes all the way down till the beginning of time. We carry it all. In every cell, every part of that emotion of all our ancestors is in every cell of us. This is where, the thing about people believe that, we live more than one life, so on and so forth. From what we are taught in plasma space technology, there is no reincarnation. It's all of us carrying all the information from our ancestors, and we can tap into those experiences all the way back. And some people interpret that as living different life forms. And maybe it is in some degree, because we're part of it. We can't separate ourselves. So we all that information is within us all, through all our ancestors, plus all of creation. So that's, it makes a little more sense than being reincarnated to me. The day will come when we'll figure it all out and find out what the real truth is. But at the end of the day, common sense shows me that that makes sense to me, because the memory of everything, you can't erase memory. It's a very difficult thing to do. I don't think it's possible. It's always there, always there. So just focus on working with the eyes and exercise and so on and so forth. Don't worry about computer work. Get yourself a charcoal, a pure hardwood charcoal that has no chemicals in it. You can make it yourself or whatever. You can buy some charcoal that has no chemicals that they use for cooking, and keep that charcoal near your computers or anything electronic that you work. It helps absorb all and neutralize all the negative fields and electromagnetic and microwaves and so on and so forth. I have a piece of charcoal near my computer all the time at home, and there's also a nano. Sorry.
Charcoal for the grill, barbecue grill?
Yeah, hardwood charcoal.
Okay,
But without-
because this is a result of watching the hockey game last night. My eye today. It's if I watch baseball, a couple innings of baseball, or if I watch a hockey game, I pay the price the next day.
Yeah,
Am I right
yeah,
on
because
that? Yeah.
your nervous systems are overstimulated, and you have weaknesses in certain glands and organs and so on and so forth. But you'll see over time as you clean out. You know, what are we doing with the pudding? We have charcoal in the pudding. It has amazing properties. The charcoal. It's very strong gravitational magnetic fields of plasma, which are helping bring things to balance. That's why they use it in hospitals for poison control and so on and so forth. It's very powerful, but it goes way beyond what our understanding is. They're thinking of it in terms of working in physicality as absorbing like a sponge. It's working on the plasmatic field much more so than it is in the physical level. So, you know, it costs you nothing. Buy a bag of charcoal, hardwood charcoal, make sure there's no chemicals in it. You know, some of them have, you know, easy light and stuff like that. That means there's chemicals in it. You don't want those ones. You want regular hardwood charcoal and just keep them around in different areas of the home where you got electronics and so on and so forth. You can put one on your, what's it called? The fuse box that comes into the home. You can put it all around your Wi-Fi stations, so on and so forth. Keep one right by your computer, you know, so it helps absorb. These are not foolproof things, but, you know, anything that we can add to the knowledge to help us, we can use. There's also nanomaterials and GANS materials I bring up. You know, these will also help. These are very strong gravitational magnetic fields. This is CO2 zinc oxide. And then we have the nanomaterials. I don't have one with me. Like, you know, a nano-coated copper and stuff is very strong gravitational magnetic field, much more so than the charcoal itself. These are easy to make. Maybe one day we're going to make a video of that. But there's lots we can do. Lots we can do. Number one, start cleaning the physical. And as we're cleaning the physical, working on the emotional.
I did a great deal. I've been doing this since 2012, and I had a healing crisis. I had highs all over my back. Went to the doctors, and lo and behold, you know what he gave me is he gave me a prednisone. Prednisone treatment. Yeah, of course. And that stopped my detox. And one thing after another.
Yeah. You know, for me, go ahead.
I was saying we can't have thousands and thousands of people do this because our society is not ready to handle it. It's not ready to handle what's going to happen when they have their healing crisis. They won't even know what's going on.
Well, this is why we have a support page, and you know, so many people. It's helped tremendously in the last couple of years. I get thank yous so many times. It's overwhelming. Because of the support page, they were able to overcome and continue and come out stronger. So we need the support page because out there we don't have a support for what we want to do in maintaining and you know, a healthy lifestyle using the principles of creation and nature. We don't want to go through the crash and burn and cut system. We don't want that because there's no solutions for that. It's butchery. It's Band-Aid. It's like getting a rusted car and put everything on top of it to make it look nice without stripping off all the rusted metal and everything. You can't do that. Building a house on a weak foundation, it's going to crumble one day. So we have to clean up and then start building with good materials. It's very basic common sense. The thing about when you start introducing these isolates from pharmacology and so on and so forth, the body can't even recognize what these things are. And what happens is when a body's in a state of illness of whatever, and you introduce one of these drugs, the body will have to work with the greater poison first. Okay? And so when you take in a drug, because it's a greater poison than what's already happening in the body's going to react to that greater poison that's being introduced. And this is what is our drug studies are based on, those reactions. And the reactions may seem to be positive, stop the symptom that was already happening because the body's working to remove that other heavy load of toxic material. And that's what we're seeing, folks. And when it's doing, because these things are isolates, the body can't really work with them in the way it's designed because they're not found in nature. So it stores them and locks them up and suppresses the other symptoms. And then when we do these detoxes, we got to deal with that stuff coming out, because when you fast, all these stored, locked up drugs, emotions, they're all going to come to the surface to be released and be healed. So it's a big challenge.
It's all about how much energy your body has. Yeah. When you fast, it has all the energy and it starts healing. Right? When you're eating, the energy is going towards the digestion.
Yeah, as soon as you stop eating, all the energy goes into elimination and healing mode. Right away, as soon as you stop eating. As soon as you go to bed, it's starting. But then when people get up in the morning, they have their breakfast, stops it. And this is where you see a lot of people, I got to have them, several meals a day, or I can't stand. When you hear that, you're looking at a very toxic individual when you hear that. When people can't go more than a few hours without eating.
So it's not just eating. When you're doing this, you have to adjust your habits, like television watching and computer watching and all that, because that's doing almost as much damage to some of your cells than the eating.
Yeah, we need to find a balance in everything. We need to spend as much time in nature as we can. That's going to be a big player. In the sun, in nature, get sun exposure most of your body as much as you can. Even in the winter, if you're behind glass, because it's too cold out, you can get sun. It's going to be better than nothing. Even behind glass, you can get sun. Most of your body should be exposed to sun as much as possible. I always feel better when it's sunny.
I have a front porch swing on it. The house was built in 1939. It's an old house, and my dog and I sit out on the porch. And I didn't even realize it, but I live on a busy street. We're sucking in all this carbon dioxide from the cars, and we think we're getting fresh air out there. We're breathing it. And I just realized it.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing to do.
Well, what can you do? You can start practicing the Buteyko breathing techniques, where you're hardly breathing. If you've looked at it, we've shared the videos on the page a few times on how to do it. You're instead of your breathing cycle going like this, inhaling and exhaling, it's doing very small, shallow breaths. And you're taking the breath from below the belly button, not up here, shallow. You're taking it from down, almost to the root chakra is where you want to take your air from. And
it's interesting because my dog, I observe my dog, and you can barely see him breathing when he's taking a rest. He's just like almost in a vegetative state. He's just so relaxed and not doing all this breathing.
Yeah.
They have it right.
Yeah.
Well, if you
look, just like babies.
Newborn babies are all breathing right low from their belly. Yeah. It took me. I think it was about a good 6-8 months of yoga when I started yoga to learn to breathe from the bottom of the belly. And once I got it, it's automatic after. You don't lose it anymore. It becomes normal. So, this is one big key that people don't breathe properly. And they breathe too much.
And the thing is, I believe when the body is toxic, you're going to breathe faster. And so it really affects your breathing as well. And as you become cleaner, and especially, with fasting, very light, whatever, belly and stuff like that, it's much easier to fast. I mean, I do the breathing exercises especially while dry fasting versus eating, versus fasting on juice versus eating. And it's the easiest on a dry. Yeah, much easier on a dry.
Oh, when you're doing breathing exercises.
Yeah.
If I overeat, I can't breathe.
Even if you even when I overdrink, even over drinking or just drinking, it's not as easy as when you're drying.
Yeah, I talked about this on the board the other day about being satiated from eating. We're looking for a fullness feeling, which is not what we're supposed to be looking for from food. Being Italian, that's the way, you know, interpreted it. Oh, are you full? And if you're not full, you got to keep eating, right? So that's ingrained in my subconscious. Like when I see a plate on somebody's table that we're having dinner and they're not finishing it, it's like something's registering. This guy, why isn't he finishing his? It's so ingrained in me because that's the way I grew up. You know, so for me, you know, you have to finish everything that's in front of you. You got to finish. That's the way I was growing up, and it's a big challenge. You guys think you guys got eating problems? I got more than anybody. That's why I dry fast, you know, 3 days a week. To give me
I moved 3 hours away from Maryland to Pennsylvania, so I don't have to deal with all those family get-togethers and all that food.
Yeah.
I don't, the obligations are, so that's great. No food and dinners and all that crap.
Yeah.
They do not eating. They do not like it.
Jeff, are you fast? Yeah.
We're losing you, Jeff.
I'm sorry, it's my cell phone. I'm gonna turn the audio off, but I appreciate it. I'm gonna watch. Okay.
No, it's okay. Just you're cutting out there.
Yeah, I moved away from my family after Mom and Dad died, and now I don't have to deal with all those get-togethers where all the food and all that crap. So that's one plus that's going on. Anyway, I don't have to deal with all that.
Yeah. What's your heritage?
I'm Jewish, but I'm not practicing.
Well, you guys do a lot of food as well.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Okay. So you know what I'm. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
So Jeff, are you on the master fast now? Are you fasting?
Yes, I'm doing it. I'm not trying it, I'm doing it. Nice. And those herbs are awesome. Those herbs are, I mean, it's unbelievable.
We made sure they're the best. The process that is involved to make these, it's going to be very challenging for somebody to duplicate it. There's nothing on the market like them. You know, and when we're fasting is when we want to use herbs, folks. That's where we spend our money. When we're not fasting, sporadically, save your money. But since fasting needs to be part of your life several times a year or whatever, you need to focus on that. And then you'll come to a point maybe in the future, in a few years, where you may not need herbs anymore. If you come clean enough, you may actually not need, because all your organs and glands will be functioning. You'll be pretty clean. You can probably just do fasting with nothing, and you'll be fine. So this is what we're working toward. The herbs are there to assist us in times of need, and they're beloved, highly elevated friends that help us doing their magic. It's night and day the difference with and without herbs when you're fasting. I've experimented extensively both. There's just no comparison when you're using herbs, especially of a good quality. There's so many on the market that are pretty much water. You're paying for water. We can dilute ours to 3-4 times and sell them on the market, and people will think they're good. You know, it's just, that's what's out there. But anyway, you know.
Let me ask one, if I may.
Yeah.
Regarding the drainage coming down from the cranial region through the facial and down to the neck. Have you had any experiences with any of your clients where they experienced that? Because I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and there was this one doctor said they who said that he was on a fast and he went blind for a few days.
Blind?
As the acid drained and came through down through his cranial area and went through the eyes, he could not see for a few days.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there are things breaking up inside up here that are coming down, causing this temporarily to.
Yeah, I can give you my experience, but there's others. I remember one woman early on when we opened the page, she experienced a blindness for a few seconds or whatever. But for me, I have issues in this area. That's why I lost my teeth and my hair going through my high fat stunt. This area for me is always clogged up. And when I was starting to do dry fast initially, going into the longer ones, my eyes would go really blurry. And even occasionally now, depends on what's moving around, they'd go really blurry. I lost my vision, my nearsightedness, doing the sun gazing. I don't blame the sun gazing. I did it in the time where I was doing the high fat, and it just burned out my nearsightedness when I was doing that. I love sun gazing, but I would not suggest anybody do sun gazing unless they're on a clean diet for a while. Stay away from it, because look what happened to me. I had perfect vision. 2020, I no longer have that. And it got so bad, I couldn't read anything. Now, I've restored quite a bit of my eyesight back, doing all the fasting, the cleansing, eye exercise, so on and so forth. When was it when I was in Italy, I was doing that 12-day, my longest, I got really blurry vision for a few days, like really blurry. And then it starts clearing up. So these things can happen. Ear candles, moving energy, lymphatic drainage massages. There's videos on it. Get things draining down. Hot and cold packs in the back of the head. Heat and ice, and keep changing. Always finish with ice. You can do castor oil packs in the back of the head. So this is where moving things, getting things to drain. It's going to take whatever it takes. Everybody's different. Just know that whatever happens when you're in a fast, not when you're eating, when you're in a fast, you're in elimination and healing mode, you have to trust what the body's doing, no matter what it is. 99.9%, the body knows what it's doing, actually 100%. Even if it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. But you have to, so we have to gain that trust, and just all we can do when we're going through these is aid and support. We don't want to get into the medical thinking, we got to do this and we're just aiding. All the tools that are just aids and support. The herbs are just aids and support. All the different things that we've talked about, the castor oil, blah, 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 the massaging, acupressure point, moving, ear candles, these are just aids and support. We're not going, anything dramatic to introduce a crazy different chemistry that the body doesn't even know to make a change. It doesn't work.
That's interesting what Jeff said, that some cleansing happening through the head and coming down through the eyes. That's very interesting.
Yeah, Dr. Sebi, who passed about, I think it was last year he passed away. He was in his, I don't know all the facts, but I used to watch his videos, and he did several months of fasting. And he did admit that on 50th or the 53rd day on one of his videos, he did go blind for a few days.
Yeah, I remember. I've watched a few of his videos. Great herbalist, great man.
If someone were to a doctor, or an allopathic doctor, while he was or she was blind, who knows what they would have been doing?
They'll never see again. Yeah, you just that's a pretty extreme healing reaction, and it could happen to anybody. It's unlikely in the most part, but it could happen. Like I said, mine was extreme blurriness, really blurry. So, once you understand, have that faith, you work it through. and keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop the detox. Get it out. Get it out. Because if you eat and stop it, you know, you put it off into the future to happen in some other time, or maybe it never happen again. Who knows? Because you may not do it again. Some people get scared of these things and then they break their fast and they get into all kinds of problems. So, you know, if you have that faith and the trust, just use the tools to get through them. And that's as simple as it is. I also noticed a lot, my ears get clogged. The Evo, he shared his story. He was clogged the whole 108 days in his head area. So, you know, we just got, everybody's at different stages. When was my last 13-day dry fast? I was getting clogged. It was like, I think 2 or 3 days, and then I started doing air candles, and I got out so much. Wow, I couldn't believe it. So when does it stop? When we stop eating.
I had just last week, a few days ago, I had a sty eye, like almost a sty eye. I don't know, but it was like a bump in my eyelid, in my right eye. And I started a dry fast. I did a 3-day dry fast. And it was, you know, itchy, and I was like rubbing it, and it's not fun. It's kind of burning and itchy, right? And I always had problems with my eyes. I always had infections. I actually was almost blind when I was a kid. And then I did the laser surgery and corrected my eyesight. But I always, after that, had infections, eye infections, you know, using microscopes and stuff like that at work. Eventually, so my eyes were always strained and always getting infected. I have used eye tincture before. Okay, and I used it for a week every day, and my eyes were just so red. It was scary almost. So I stopped it, just to, you know, stop the detox a little bit. And then I started 2 days ago with the eye tincture again, and now my eyes are so red, especially this one here. It is so.
But I get the impression it's not our eyes. It's an obstruction between the eye nerve to the colon location in that specific region of the colon. There's an obstruction that's blocking the electrical pathways.
Yeah, even the liver, as well as when the liver's having issues, you'll have eye issues as well. So everything's related. It's all attached.
So it's just all inflamed right now.
All attached. If you that's another thing you can also do, Jeffrey, as you're on a map, do some castor oil packs on the liver. Mm-hmm. You know, 3 days on, 3 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off. Do that for, you know, a few weeks. See if that helps.
I put my palm over my liver, and it's just, there's like people in there dancing around. You can feel it. It's like,
you go under the rib. Do you feel any pain if you're poking in there?
No pain. No.
No pain.
It's just all kinds of. There's like people dancing in there.
Okay, yeah, you can do some castor oil packs. You know, that helps. The castor oil packs can be used pretty much anywhere.
Daily enemas, of course.
Yeah, you doing enemas daily?
Not like I'm supposed to.
Yeah. That's
a big one.
I really suggest people invest in a Colima board, and if not, if they could afford it, go get you know, a couple of colonics a week or whatever. Besides doing daily enemas, we need to really wash that colon, because we're living in a filthy environment, and we're not living, you know, eating the best. So that needs a lot of cleaning, especially after all the years of not eating species-specific foods and overeating and so on and so forth. We got to really wash that off. And the best time is when you're in an elimination healing mode, which is fasting. What is fasting? Okay, a true fast, there's only one true fast. No eating, no liquids whatsoever. That's what fasting is. Everything else is not fasting, folks. When people talk about mono fruit fasting and juice, these are not really fasts. True fasting is a dry fast. That's what a fast is, period. And since, you know, most of us cannot do long, dry fast because of our conditions. We use a little bit of our so-called intelligence from destroying ourselves in the first place. So now we have to correct ourselves, and we use juices, we use some herbs, and so on and so forth to assist us and allow us to go longer and have more benefit from the dry fast. That's what Master Fast is, right? It's a glorified dry fast, allowing us to keep going and going and going. We have Marin in Germany. He's over a year on Master Fast. He only took a 2-week break with some smoothies. He's later on, after a few months, he started introducing some green juices. So we can call it actually a Master Fast hybrid liquid is what he's doing, because he's not eating, he's not going back to food. You're talking about a poor soul that was in a wheelchair, 3 years of chemo, ready to die. He's been over a year on Master Fast. Incredible story. His interviews on one of the YouTube videos. But when people say certain things, they're speaking out of ignorance or no experience. It's best that we speak from what we know, through our experiences or through experiences of wise teachers. If we don't know anything about it, we're just making an opinion, and it could be truth, it could be some truth, or it could be total bullshit. So what I like to share is mostly what I've experienced myself, which is a lot, and most people won't believe how many things I've been through. Not everything, but I've had a lot of great teachers, amazing teachers that have taught me as well. And it's all intermingled is what the Master Fast is. So we move along, and we in these last 2 years that we've been sharing this, I've learned so much more from everybody sharing. So much. We made adjustments here and there, but the knowledge that's come out is amazing from people sharing. This is why we're doing what we're doing here. We need this. We need people to share. We need the support system. Can you imagine something like this when mainstream? Hospitals will start closing down very rapidly, folks. Very rapidly. Restaurants will start going out of business. Corporate food chains will start going out of business. Just think about the big picture. It would be a huge, endless cycle of bringing things back to balance. All the butchery of bringing up animals for food consumptions would stop. It would be an amazing world to live in.
The biggest change would be that we would feel amazing.
That's what we're talking about. To be the change you want to see. This is what we're doing. We want to make that change. We want to make that imprint. And as we are all, sorry?
Do you think something like that could happen if it ever catches on with CNN or something?
It won't happen through CNN, but it's happening through the internet. And this internet has been a blessing to humanity for this day and age, to be able, each and every one of us, to get the information, share information at levels that were not possible before the internet, because we've been suppressed to use our telepathic capabilities, which you don't need any language. We can tap into all the information because it's already there. So that was all smothered and hidden from us, and we just need to get ourselves in a state clean enough to be able to remember that, because that's where we came from, and that's where we shall return, to be part of all that knowledge, where there is no language. You just know. It's a knowing. Language is limited. Language is another form of enslavement, as is all paper on this planet. And everything's possible. I truly hope, within our lifetime, we're going to get to see some massive changes. Man is.
Then there's the fact that even if they know it, they're not willing to change their lifestyle. A lot of people. Yeah, they like to go out for dinner with their family and all that crap.
Where humanity in general, a big percentage is in a gluttony state, consumerism state. Yeah, Everybody, buying, consume. This is what we've come to be.
I like to see
I
it.
don't know.
Yeah, I like to see it as
I don't know.
we create our own reality. So if
I don't know if you all are seeing it, but there's actually a new breed of human. It's a new breed of human that's coming about. It's a head with no neck because they're so heavy and gluttoned. It's just like as a snowman. It's just no neck. You can't see their neck. There's a lot of it. I see people with just the one head on top of a body. It looks just like a snowman. They're so overweight and obese. It's like a new breed of woman. It's really scary.
Yeah, it's environment dictates outcome, and
but we were there too, right? We have been there. So,
be the change.
Yes.
Be the change.
So I see it as we create our own reality. So if, why wait for things to change? Change now, and everything around you will be different when you change. So you really don't even need to wait for nobody to change.
Focus. We need to focus. We need to see the ugliness out there of what it is, and learn from it, and focus on what we want to see, the beauty, because there is a lot of beauty on this planet. Lots of beauty.
Yes, but you can also see it as, we were there. Yes, not everything is beautiful, but we were there too, right? At some point, and now we saw another light, and we feel beautiful, we feel amazing, and so we were there. So let's not separate ourselves from them, because we were there, so we understand these people and we love them, and it's fine. Some people are not ready to see it. It's totally fine.
The separation is an illusion. It truly is. I just it's sad seeing what's happening at the scales. It's happening sometimes. It's just crazy. But first thing we can do is start with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Look in the mirror.
That's the last thing.
And
we don't need to do much.
and be the example.
We skeletons to them, and they're criticizing us, and we're criticizing them. And I think the best thing is not.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
life is more beautiful than that.
We don't need to criticize anybody. We just elevate their souls. So one day they may see.
And we elevate our souls too.
To
understand them.
In elevating others, we elevate ourselves. The peace, balance, correct conduct. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. In this life, if you don't have your health and well-being, you have nothing. You can have all the money on this planet. If you don't have in your health and well-being, what are you doing? How, it's not a fun life, having ailments and pains and suffering, emotional, all this stuff. It's not fun. When you wake up and you don't feel your body, mind is clear, that's living. And you can be happy just sitting doing nothing. You'll be in bliss all the time. There's nothing else to stand in your way. That's where we're going. You don't want to feel your physical body. Physicality is an illusion. We shouldn't feel it. And we've been trained we need to feel the body. So that's why we eat and overeat. So we start getting pains and numb ourselves. And it's totally opposite. So, it's.
You want to be in tune with your body.
It's not an easy. It's not an easy task. We want a sensitive body in the sense that
alignment.
Yeah, it allows us to know the dangers, external, internal, so we can back away to keep our balance. If you watched,
to enjoy things, not just danger, but also to enjoy things, to enjoy the food. Like, my goodness, most people don't enjoy fruits and vegetables. But once you're cleaner, you eat fruits from the trees. It means the world to people who are clean, who are cleaner. You go eat a heavy meal and then you see a fruit tree. It doesn't mean much, But when the body is cleaner, you feel it and enjoy it.
It's amazing. When you open up those taste buds, you get all the flavors of simple foods. You watch the way people eat in general, putting all kinds of condiments and this and that to bring the flavors out. So you eat food from your own land that you've taken care of. It's at a whole different dimension of flavors. Way, way different. Just amazing. The wild foods. If you go out and eat, if you ever gone out and eat some wild herbs and stuff, you won't be able to eat a lot. Your body will stop right away. A good example is to give people is pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
Pineapple gives a strong signal when you've had enough. It starts burning your tongue.
Yeah.
Yes. Wild foods will give you that satiation feeling very quickly. If you try and make a big salad like you usually make out of all wild foods, you won't be able to eat anywhere near it. Your body will just say, that's enough. That's enough, because it's impacted with pure energy. Very strong fields. All the stuff we buy that's cultivated, it's way weaker. And depends who grew it. You can taste the differences. Like I was explaining other times, sometimes, I'll buy some conventional grown food that tastes way better than the organic stuff that costs more. And you got to say, it's not only about, it's who grew it. How did they take care of the land? Everything. It's all the way down the line. All the way down. There's some conventional farmers that I've met that took care of their land better than organic farmers. Because some of these organic farmers, I'm not saying it's all negative, some of them are doing it for the title of the certificate only because it pays more per acre. So the organic movement is a wonderful movement. Growing food with chemicals should be totally illegal, banned. It shouldn't be allowed. It's insanity putting on these spacesuits and spraying the fields, and then we eat that food. Like, where have we gone? Like, really?
My backyard backs to an Amish farm. It's a dairy farm, and I have sore throats when they spray with their chemicals. It comes up through my back window.
Oh boy!
Oh my God, it's horrible.
Yeah, get yourself an ozonator. Close all the windows and doors when they're doing it.
How do you get through? I've been off of the board for a while because Facebook is it's overwhelming from my emotions right now. A good friend from high school just found out she has pancreatic cancer.
Oh,
and
man.
Tell her about the Master Fast. I mean, I'm not friends with her. I haven't spoken to her in decades, and she's going to do the chemo and she's going to do all that. And now I have to deal with all those emotions. It's like, so I've been trying to back myself away from all that. And it's hard because every now and then you hear of a story or somebody's been diagnosed with cancer. They're going to go through what my mom went through. She had an M&M sized peanut of a tumor in her right breast. They took her lymph nodes out. They took the tumor out. They gave her chemo and radiation. She was a petite little lady, and they turned her life upside down, and she didn't last 2 years. 6 months in hospice, trying to do my detox, and I couldn't even do that because my emotions were all over the place. It's like, we're fighting the allopathic world, and we're trying to deal with their own issues. It's hard. It's like they're fighting us.
Yeah, you have to allow people their choice of free will. You can give them information best you can. It's their journey. A lot of it, they're making their judgment.
Have you never just said no? You're not going to just get into it and just let it go and let that nature just don't get involved, because that's what I did. I just didn't get involved, and I don't know if I made the right decision. But I knew that to fix this was your path. but I didn't give her that information because I don't, I didn't feel like I should get involved with their health issues, and that's.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is present, say, have you ever thought about alternatives? If they give you, no, whatever, lay back. If they are a little bit open-minded, then you can start talking, okay, well, why don't you check out this, and that, and then they can make their own decision. But I stopped talking to people, that I'll just say stuff like that. And if they're really closed, I don't get involved.
They're not ready.
They're not ready. And I've over the years, I've introduced information to people, and they were completely closed. And it happened a few times. Years later, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, all of a sudden the guy would call me, hey, what do I need to do? But I'm going, holy jeez.
So it's good to give the information, but
plant the seed.
That's all you can do.
Plant the seed, and if it sprouts,
Yeah.
they may be. I may be too late for some people, but hey, it's all. The sad thing is, it's through so much ignorance of our programming. That's the sad part. They're making these decisions based on programming from, our schooling, our marketing, our doctors, health system, whatever, government. It's very sad. It's based on something that is, its only interest is bottom line to make a profit.
Yeah,
So,
but again, it's our responsibility. It's not the government.
No.
It's totally our responsibility.
No.
Like, we have the information. I mean, come on. We have information that our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents didn't have access to.
Today, anybody can get on a computer and do a little bit of research. It's overwhelming because there's so much crap on both sides of everything.
If you want answers, you'll find them.
Yeah, you got to start learning how to use common sense, and a lot of people don't. I'm not saying I'm a master, but I see things in a different way than a lot of people.
Some people are not ready.
I found the key player in allowing the common sense to expand is fasting.
Yeah.
You get on these fasts and you start asking questions, and the information pops up right in front of you all the time. It's magic. And the more you fast, the more answers you'll get. It's just that simple. We really do not need anybody. We do not need any guru, nothing. We have it all within. So, now that.
What do you do with all the time? It seems like when I do the fast, I can't sleep, and
you can do so much. I can't keep up.
Well, I have neighbors on both sides of me, and I have a creaky old house, and I can't even move around. I don't know what to do.
Well, you'll get ideas and creativity as you get into fasting, and you will have no time, trust me, to do what you love because you just are so excited. So,
But when you fast, there's no doubt. Fasting is king.
Yeah.
The dry fasting.
It's just get some new hobbies. You'll come up with things. Do things that you've always loved to do and you never had a chance to do. Open up new ways of using up the time.
Do enemas.
At 4 o'clock in the morning?
Enemas, yeah. Do an enema, whatever, man. Just
You're not doing daily enemas. Do daily enemas.
Do it in the time.
But
Okay, I'll do.
Yeah,
I'll do 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Talking about helping other people. I have 3 sisters, and nobody cares about eating vegan or anything like that. I have changed 5 years ago I started with raw vegan. I don't care anymore. I really can't care less. As long as they respect me and I respect them, I'm fine. Now, when it comes to their kids and I see their kids are very sick, then I get upset because I don't, I feel this is not right because they are kids and they don't know, right? Whereas
We
the
helped one of
parents-
them.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I told my sister, please talk to Gino, because her son had bronchitis severe for 2 months and he could hardly breathe at night. And, they were talking about, my dad was telling my sister, oh, you should go to a specialist, not to a regular doctor. And I said in front of everybody, I said, blind leading the blind, And then I told my sister, listen, you must do something. And then Gino gave her maybe 5 different things to do. And number 1 was, of course, his food, but
Stop. Great.
yeah, I mean, they can eat garbage sometimes, the kids,
I've told people stop dairy and they don't even listen. That's the number 1. Someone has bronchial problems and sinus problems, stop the dairy.
Oh, yeah,
Number 1.
it's the worst.
They won't listen to you.
Dairy,
It's like they think you're crazy.
yeah, dairy and grains are really, really bad. The protein is right behind. Protein animal products. Dairy's got both. It's got the protein, it's got the fat, it's got the gluiness.
But yeah, after following Gino's suggestion for like 5 days, it was pretty much done. 5 days after 2 months of taking antibiotics and taking cortisone, a kid,
Kids heal fast.
Yeah, so after 2 months of doing that, finally in 5 days, he was able to heal naturally. It's just crazy. So my sister now, I think she trusts us a little bit. She believes a little bit, but she's not willing to change, so that's fine.
Yeah, we do the best we can sharing the info. Some of us have more challenging than others. Families can be the worst at some time.
If they don't see it in a book or if it's not presented at school, then it's not of any of value.
Yeah. Like. I'm gonna have to write a book and put gold stamps all over it and certificates and everything. And maybe people will listen when it's written down. And so, it's true. Like some people, if they don't see it written down, it's not official or whatever. They can't believe it.
They don't trust anything.
So
but they just trust everything.
It's part of the programming that we've been brought up. It's robotic thinking. It's not thinking. It's just, garbage in, garbage out. I was there one time when I woke up. I'm going, holy jeez, was I that asleep? I started waking up a little bit early on what's happening in the world. Early 20s, and then that's when and then was it 26, 1990 when I got the Arnold Laird book, and bang, wow, it makes sense to me, and everything changed. What's this? I am new to MassFest. I just finished the 8-day. Oh, and Doug. I'm new to MassFest system. I just finished the 8-day MassFest and plan to start a 40-day MassFest in about a month. Couple of questions. What is GANS water? How do you break a 24-hour dry fast? How do you use licorice? How do you use turpentine? What is GANS? This is one GANS material. GANS is a reference to a gas as nanostate. It's in a semi-matter state. It's in a very strong gravitational magnetic field strength. If you think about a magnet, it's got a north pole and a south pole, they call it. Well, we call it entry and exit points. So that flow is continual and it doesn't stop. Magnets don't lose their energy. This has the same thing, but we don't see it like we do in a magnet. But if you get different materials, this is CO2 zinc oxide. If you get different materials of GANS, she only has this one here. They react in similar ways as magnets. They start moving and stuff. And we are made up of this material. Our body is in a GANS state. gas in nanostate. We're made of, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen,
That helps us.
we're made up of these materials. We're in a GAN state, and our body, our digestive system, is a vacuum system. When we eat foods, nothing crosses the walls like we've been taught. Absorption, it's all done through field of interactions. That's the proper way. So as soon as we start chewing something, the plasmatic fields from our saliva and everything start interacting to break it down, to get it ready to have those plasmatic field interchanges happening within the stomach, which we call digestion. As it's going through the whole system, there's all fields interacting with each other, and is how we create matter.
It helps us restore back.
Yeah, and plasma is always seeking balance. Always. It's the magnetical is the giving, the gravitational is the taking. So whatever you need, the plasma will give. Whatever you don't need, it takes. So it's continuously finding that balanced equilibrium. This is how the whole universe works. This is how the planets are rotating in motion continuously, and they hold their positions within each other through these gravitational magnetic field strengths. The atom, which has the electrons spinning within, they call that what's the word they use? I'm not great with chemistry and stuff, but anyway, the electrons are continuously spinning in there, continuously, and we're made up of all these so-called atoms. These are just little plasmas, and they all have this gravitational magnetic field strength, same as the planet spinning. They don't eat. They don't have a battery plugged in. They don't have motor. They don't have wings, and they're continuously moving because that energy is always there. It's infinite. It's never wears out. Our body's made of the same thing. That's why most of the day we're not eating. Where's this energy coming from? Well, we've been duped that we need to believe. We were made to believe that we need to eat to create energy. Digestion takes more energy than it gives you in return. Most foods, anyway. Fruit's probably one of the few that takes the least energy for the digestion process and elimination. But these GANs, you can make any material pretty much into a GAN state. The plants, anything that's living is in a GAN state. Any single element you can pretty much make in a GAN state. It's infinite. It's as infinite as the stars, and no two are alike. And then you have different, what do they call, isotopes in each element. So it's infinite how many different GANs you can make. And in Keshe-based technology, this material can be used for anything. You were asking about the
plasma
water. So after you've made this material, you have it in a container with water. You leave that for 24 hours. This water will have all that information and energy of the actual GANs material. Then we don't have to use the actual GANs material. That's a lifetime supply. It has each nanoparticle of this GANs material. You know what nano is? Microscopic. Has the potential of the sun. So can you imagine us? We have trillions and trillions of these nanoparticles. What are we made of? We're an infinite source of the energy, of infinite energy. This material is the same. This is will last generations and generations. You can keep making this water over and over and over and over and over and over with the same material. And then you just use the water. We don't drink water, but you can use the water like medicine, taking a teaspoon 3 times a day. You can spray it on your clothes, on your body, on your bed, on your windows, on your house, on your walls. You can feed it to plants, love it. You'll see how wonderful they grow. Animals, give them a choice, they'll always go for the plasma water, always. They know, they can connect to these subtle energies. They're more sensitive than we are. But when you start playing more and more and clean your body, you will be able to feel the energies more and more of these powerful energies. These are just based on the basic principles of creation. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but this is what we're learning in Keshe Space Technology. And he's a man of much knowledge to share. They can be used also for energies. They can be used for motion. They can be used for agriculture. I mentioned for food. If you get the right combinations, you can be fed off them. The basic amino structure of all life forms on this planet is COHEN. C, carbon, O, oxygen, H, hydrogen, and N, nitrogen, which is the basic amino acid structure. And if you can get the isotopes correct, you can live on these fields without consuming anything. You just interact with them. A lot of people that have been playing with these fields, their food consumption has gone down dramatically, just being around these fields.
So we are made of gans, but we can still be imbalanced?
Yeah, the whole thing is our intent and emotion. Once we live in a state of peace, balance, and correct conduct, truly, we don't need anything external because we're made out of these materials. And we can access the power of these materials. Space flight, we don't need a spaceship. We are the spaceship. When you go to sleep every night, where do you go? Anywhere you think of, you're instantly there. What's more real, when you're asleep or when you're awake? So this is the power of plasma knowledge, which is what creation is all based on. 99.99% of all the universe is built of plasma. All of it. A perfect example of plasma would be an egg, shape of an egg. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The plasma. See, I was given the example before of the fish being created instantly in water from rainstorms in a puddle. These are when the conditions are correct, bang, creation happens. So this is how their physicality in this dimension, in this planet happens. It's just the environment dictates the outcome. So on this planet, COHEN is the basic amino acid structure. Because of the distance from our planet to the other planets and the sun, and the fields from the sun come hitting the earth, creates our atmosphere and creates the air and so on and so forth, and all life on this planet. If anything would move off, you'd have different outcome. It wouldn't probably be the COHEN structure, it'd be something else. But every single planet out there has to have life in just different forms and different dimensions. It all depends on the gravitational magnetic fields, and depending, how they interact to what we see as an outcome. So this is basically it. There's so much there. This is many lifetimes of knowledge to learn about creation. My basic understanding of it is what I was able to put together what we call MasterFast now because of my basic understanding of plasma and the cooking of the grape juice. This allows the structure to be opened up atomically when you heat things up. We can make certain GANs materials with caustic. Caustic opens up structures to release the energies. So we can do it by heat as well. We can do it with plasma. We can do it with electricity. Plasma is the best, but when you heat, atomically the structures open, they release. This is why cooked food is so damn addictive. The energy, we get, energy from it because it's in a state where we can absorb the energy much more easier. The only problem when we go to cook foods is the physicality part of it. It's obstructive. Once you cook it, I've found that fruits, even cooked, are not obstructive. Let me back up a bit. All foods, even fruit, have some degree of obstruction. But fruit is the least obstructive physical foods after air. Air is the least obstructive. Then fruit as physical foods. And then you start getting into the heavier stuff, which is the greens. Even greens, when you cook them, some reason they leave more obstructions, a lot more. So instead of using them in that state, we can use the energy from them like we do with herbal teas. We cook, release the information into the water, strain it out, and we use the water. We can do that with broths. And we can use the cooking more intelligently now that we understand a little bit more. So that's the basic scenario of what GANS is.
How do you break 24-hour dry fast?
The dry fast, it's on the website. It's basic. Rana's in the process of editing everything to make it more clear for everybody.
So 24 hours.
24 hours, anything 24 hours or more on a dry, we start and end the same. We start with an enema, and we take our bubbly drink. And then that's the start of our fast, when we finish the drink. When we end, we do it in the opposite way. We take our drink, and then we hydrate a little bit. 1 or 2 hours for 24-hour dry fast is enough, and then we do an enema. That's simply how we break a dry fast. After the bubbly, I like to get into the kidney tea. Sip on that. Another option is coconut water. You can sip on that, and then the juice later. If we're going on,
can you use expired grape juice for it?
What juice was that?
Can you use expired grape juice?
Expired? Is it when you open it? Is it fermenting?
No. I mean the best by date.
Yeah, I don't. If it's not fermenting, it
Can
should
you
be
use that
fine.
for the enema?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
If it's not fermented, I mean,
Even if it's fermenting a bit, you can reboil it. No big deal.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use the colon is very sensitive, right? So drink it. If it's expired, I mean, I would keep the good stuff for my colon. Yeah.
Boil it up again and use it.
Okay.
It's no big deal. So yeah, when you break it, you do the bubbly. Again, the tea. What was I going to say? If it's a longer fast and fire, which any newbie shouldn't even be considering, I'm just putting it out there because you need to know in the future after a few years. We do it a bit different. After 5-6 days dry fast, we break it with a bubbly and get into just the tea, and just sipping the tea. We'd stay away from the juice maybe for that day. Just sipping the tea. Coconut water could be an option as well. And then do an enema in a few hours, and then the next day you can get into the juice. So depending. For any newbies under 5 days, this is the basic structure of beginning and ending a dry fast over 24 hours. The daily dry fast, we don't use bubbly. People keep asking that. We don't use bubbly. It's only for 24 hours or more.
Yeah.
Because the dailies, the 16, 17, whatever, it's 12 hours, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 if you're more experienced. It's not really a long time. Even 24 hours, folks, you will see after a long time, it's not a long time to dry fast. Most people can do right off the bat 2-day to 3-day dry fast. Most, not everybody, most. Right off the bat.
But it's better to have a cleaner body.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
when the bowels are clean, the cleaner, your fasting will be more pleasurable. That's the key. When you're all plugged up, the fasting becomes more difficult. Even when you're starting your master fast, the first week is where everybody has challenges and pains and so on and hunger. As soon as the backup load comes out, lots of enemas, the energy levels start going up, and your mind gets clear, and everything starts working better. So the key is always bowels. Clean those bowels. Not in the dry fast, before and after the dry fast. In the dry, we don't do any enemas. We don't worry about bowels moving. We don't care about that stuff. Sometimes you will have bowel movements on a dry fast. Sometimes you won't have any.
The first day usually, but after that usually you don't.
I've had bowel movements on day 6, 7. You never know. You never know what the body, like when I just this week, was it Thursday night, went to bed because I do my weekly drive from Tuesday to Friday. I went to bed. I woke up getting crampy and I had to go to the bathroom on a dry fast. So I go to the bathroom and then it was like 2 a.m. I can't remember what it was. I couldn't get back to sleep. The energy level. So I stayed another couple hours, twiddling my thumbs, and then I got up. But you never know. You don't expect anything. Just whatever comes, and we embrace it. You never know. You never know what can happen. There's always surprises on fasting, especially dry fasting, which is your true fast. Is you just don't know what the experience will be. Even after years, most of them are pretty easy, 3 days. Sometimes I'll come in a second day and holy geez, it's really challenging to get through that one day. But that's okay. It's just the body's doing whatever it needs to do, and then the next day, bang, you feel like $1 million again. You just don't know. You just don't know. The only thing that is challenging for a lot of us is trusting. Your heart starts racing or starts hurting. It doesn't feel good. So,
with dry fasting, it's practice. 100% practice.
But Julie, has the question been asked how many hours we're supposed to be getting in a pristine condition way back? I mean, do you have any idea how many hours we're supposed to be getting of sleep?
Of sleep?
Is there a number of hours? Yes.
Sleep? Whatever your body requires. There's people living on 3-4 hours sleep. Myself, I'm one that I sleep. My body kind of likes sleep, especially when I'm eating, like that 7-8 hours. And then once in a while, I'll go to 9 hours sometimes, but not too much. When I'm fasting, it's usually anywhere 5, 6, 7 hours, and sometimes less.
What about after we're clean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you stick to really light, clean eating, you'll need less sleep. So what is that saying? Food takes your energy. Is if you listen to the common sense, food takes your energy. But we're so ingrained that we believe we need to eat, and we love eating, so we continue eating. So that's why I've incorporated in my life dry fasting regularly. I can't stay without it.
Do you think when we were created, we weren't really to sleep?
I think we weren't programmed to eat. We weren't programmed to sleep.
Yeah, let's start with food first.
Yeah, I don't believe we were programmed for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think the fall of man in physicality was the first bite they took to be enslaved. Food is enslavement. How many people are starving to death on the planet? They're just living day to day, waiting for their death. That's their belief system. It's crazy, but it's out there. And then you have people that are living on nothing.
I mean, even us, if I stop eating, I'll probably die. I mean, not eating, but drinking. I will probably die, right? Because my belief system is still not completely changed. It hasn't evolved.
It's going to be.
So it's a practice.
Yeah.
Dry fasting is a practice.
We not everybody's goal is going to be to stop eating completely, and that's okay. No big deal.
Yeah, but I mean, people who are dying from thirst and hunger in some countries in the world, it's because they're not practicing dry fasting. So to stop it all of a sudden, of course, your body's going to be in shock. That's why they're dying. Their belief system.
Yeah.
Belief
Yeah,
system,
plus
and
they're-
also they're
you
full of
know-
toxins as well, and they're not detoxed, and your body cannot dry fast for too long if you're still toxic.
Well, let's look at this other scenario. For example, you see these programs in Africa, these poor countries with these children who are starving with these huge bellies. What's the Western countries doing? Sending them corn,
Grains.
flour, and grains. So anytime they do eat, they're just plugging their bodies up.
Yeah,
It's totally right in front of your eyes what's happening. They're just plugging up. They don't eat for whatever time, and then they get some food and they plug themselves up. That's what you're seeing. So yeah, they're literally starving them to death, even worse, because all that stuff they're feeding them is not food, and especially when you're not eating, putting that stuff in you, it's like glue. It's like super glue.
Okay.
What was the other question?
So when do you take, or how do you use licorice?
Oh, the licorice.
If you
We like the candy extracts, the pure ones. Italy's one of the most famous for making the good ones. Pure is it's much stronger in that form than making a tea. But if you can't get them, you can use tea. Yeah. This is an Italian brand. There's quite a few different ones from Italy. So you just suck on one of these. It helps the adrenal glands. Helps bowels. Great for coughs. Licorice is good for many, many things if you look up what they're for. But on a fast, the issue with so many people is kidney and adrenals, which regulate your blood pressure. And what starts happening when we go on these elimination modes is blood pressure drops for a lot of people. Some people drops quite a bit. And what the body's doing is reducing all that, reducing heart rate too for people to save energy and use energy for elimination and healing. So that's what the body's doing. And for some people, because there's so much toxins, when that happens, they get lightheaded and dizzy and so on and so forth. So we use a little bit of this, suck on a candy, once or twice a day to help boost up the function of those adrenals. And it helps regulate a little bit of the blood pressure. And some people, it'll raise the blood pressure quite a bit. Like in Italy, I was going crazy on licorice because it's everywhere. So I was doing quite a little bit too much, and my blood pressure went a little bit on the high side, which it's never ever been. And this was doing a licorice for a few months, pretty much every day, a little bit of licorice here and there. It will boost your blood pressure, but even on dry fast, if you're on a dry fast, suck on one of these. Helps the dryness for some people, and it'll help give you some more confidence. So it's just a great herb. I think it doubles the half-life of cortisone in the adrenals or something. But make sure it's pure extract. This is 100% licorice with anise flavoring, which is from another plant. But you can get just pure licorice. Some people like the taste, some people don't. If you don't like the taste, you can swallow it. There's pretty much no digestion because it's an extract. It won't stop the fast. It's a great little tool. If you remember, dizzy or lightheaded, it works. Just be careful, folks, if you're new to fasting, getting up. Get up very slow. Just go very slow. Get control of your breath. Make sure your horizon's in a horizontal position before you make your movements. And if you're moving and you feel anything, crouch down, sit down, and just hold it there and breathe. It works every time. Just get to learn these feelings. When you're new to fasting, we've had a few people fall and smashing their heads. We don't want to see this. You got to be careful. And don't be scared. Don't be scared if you get that feeling. It's nothing to do that you're missing nutrition. Nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with lacking.
Most of the time, when you're in a fast and you get these feelings, you're about to release some toxic waste.
You are releasing.
But I mean, like a chunk of plaque is going to be dislodging, and it's got to come out. So if you're getting go do an enema. It's going to help you. If you read people's story, oh, it felt like this, and then bang, they went to release, and they felt better. So that's what's happening at that level, because these toxins, they start circulating because you want to get them out, and they're stuck there. So they're circulating, and it gives you these feelings on top of having the low blood pressure levels. So this is what's happening. It's nothing to do with food. And people say, oh yeah, well I ate and then I felt better. Yeah, because you stop the elimination mode instantaneously as soon as you eat.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you eat.
Yeah.
Elimination fast is stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Yeah, we're
then you blame it on the fast.
Yeah,
or
we're blessed that we can drink juice and use all these herbs and that pudding, and it doesn't stop the fast. How amazing is that? We can live on this stuff for a long time. So that's basically why we use that. Is there another one?
Yeah, the turpentine. How to use it?
Oh, the turpentine, Doug, is it's a wonderful herb. My herbalist friend showed me an old remedy you make from the spruce tree, spruce buds, which is the tree they make turpentine from. It's a Christmas tree. If anybody knows Christmas tree. It's just turpentine is just an extract, an essential oil from the Christmas tree, and it's got many benefits. But that remedy we used to make from the spruce buds, we did with honey for 30 days in a jar. I just fill up the jar with spruce buds, fill it up with honey, put in the sun for 30 days. It comes to amazing lung cough syrup tonic. It's got a wonderful flavor. Turpentine is a little more aggressive because it's just the extract of the oil. So
it's very powerful.
It's used to thin paints for many years, and then specific artists they will only demand pure gum spirits, 100% pure gum spirits for working with their paints because it acts differently than anything man-made. They prefer it. So these days you'll find stuff that's not pure. If it doesn't say 100% pure gum spirit, it is not. It has to say 100% pure gum spirit. And that would be okay to ingest if you choose to experiment. We have it as experimental in Master Fast because of the category it's in. Like I said, I believe it's safe, but you guys don't have to use it. The protocol, the Dr. Daniels, I can't remember her full name, she has a whole protocol on how to use terps. Very basic, very simple. She uses it with sugar cubes. You don't need to do that. We can drink it with grape juice or whatever you want. I take it straight and then take a jug of grape juice. But her protocol is 4 teaspoons, one a day for 4 days straight, first week on sugar cubes. And then the weeks following, you're doing 2 days a week, a teaspoon. That's the protocol for basically for terps, for maintenance. On Master Fast, that's going to be enough probably because it's very strong herb. Some people have used it for enemas and so on and so forth. You can also use it externally, mix it 50-50 approximately with castor oil, or maybe you got to regulate so the castor oil is not very sticky when you put it on, and you can rub it in. It's great if you have any lung problems. Rub it in the lung areas. You can rub it in the kidney areas. Fungus on the feet, on your hair. The pine cone from the Christmas tree looks like the pineal gland, and in basic ancient wisdom, same to same. So it could feed the pineal gland for those interested in that, and many other things. It's a very powerful herb, and it has many uses. I read a story of a couple that was out in the wilderness somewhere, in a cabin or something, where the husband got bitten by a snake, poisonous snake, passed out. She didn't know what to do. They had nobody around. She grabs, there was turpentine in the place. So she grabbed a pail of water, he was bitten on the hand, put the guy's hand in the water with the turpentine in there. And she kept changing the water. I don't remember how long it was, several hours or a day later. He came to, all the poison was drawn out from the turpentine, and he survived. So, you know, turpentine's been used medicinally for eons before the pharmaceutical industry banned it and said it was poison, blah, blah, blah. But if you're going to use it, don't go nuts on it. The dosage that they're talking about is for people that are eating. And the key for Dr. Daniels' protocol is to keep the bowels moving with daily enemas when they're on the protocol, because a lot of people have so much stuff in their bodies and they'll have a lot of die-off. And if you don't get that die-off out of you, you ain't going to feel good. Same reason we highly recommend people doing enemas every day on Master Fast.
Yeah, and I would avoid turpentine on a dry fast. Way too strong. And you're not moving your bowels, right? You want to be moving your bowels when you're taking turpentine.
Yeah, you can do the other tinctures, a maximum half a dose, as we suggest. We have all the different tips for, to allow yourself to go further on a dry fast. If you're having trouble, we have the dry. We have a wet dry, where you're allowing the body some water, brushing teeth, washing hands, swimming. And then you have your tincture dry, we call it. And then you have your semi-dry, which we're taking in a small shot of, half an ounce to an ounce of grape juice, alternating with kidney tea every hour. So at the end of the day, you're probably doing 4 ounces of liquid. So that's like a semi-dry. You'll still get results, folks. If you do that for a couple of weeks, you're going to get results. But the dry is the ultimate, where you really tap within deep. But, some people, if they're having a challenge,
Lisa,
getting to those 3 days.
Lisa mentioned here, I'm starting her 36-hour dry fast, I believe, and she said that she eats of 1 ounce at the hour, starting whenever she gets the heart rate issues.
Yeah, excellent. And that's helping you, right? Yeah, just nod.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So these are all little tips, folks. Forget about what people are saying out there. It's not dry fast enough. We're showing by results. Forget about what people talk about. Forget about science, experiments, the tests. Forget about whatever. Look at results, because that's ultimately the only thing that's going to matter at the end of the day.
She said, it helped her with the 72 hours.
Yeah.
Because I learned that heart issues started at 41.
Yeah. But they'll get better and better over time. You'll be able to come to a point one day, 3 days, no big deal. You may have challenges like I explained before every once in a while, but in general, when you're doing your monthly 3 days, that should never end. It becomes something you look forward to, instead of worrying about, is my heart gonna? These things will all correct themselves. Like Lisa yourself, you had a lot of issues, and you've started correcting things in a big way already. You're just going to keep moving towards bringing more balance into your life. You have a lot going on, a lot. You're a different person than when I met you, before you started. And
she says she's challenged with very bad edema right now.
Edema? Yeah. Okay.
How is your food?
Watermelon juice.
Yeah. How is your feeding going? Sorry, let's unmute.
Watermelon juice, Lisa?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of watermelon. I could maybe do more.
Did you cook in it?
I didn't cook it.
You're just eating it?
Yeah. Eat it and then I drank it too.
Juicing or just blending?
I I just strain the water off of it too.
So
Um,
juice.
try cooking some for 9 minutes.
Yeah.
See if that helps your edema. I can't remember, who was it, Anna? She said it really helped her on her edema. You got to understand now you're in the second phase metamorphosis after that 108. Well, those kidneys are done tremendous amount of work, and now they're still doing a lot of work because now everything's got to turn back on for digestion and so on and so forth. So, keep your legs elevated at night if you can a little bit. It'll all help clear everything out. There's lots going on. This happens with a few people with the edema. It's not a big issue. You've had tremendous things going on in the body. It'll only get better as time goes on, as things start correcting themselves.
Are you feeling better with breaking the fast?
I have a lot of emotion that I'm dealing with right now. And so I feel like I idealize and make a perfect scenario for things. And I had a perfect scenario for how this would go and how I would feel, both physically and emotionally. And so I'm coping with that right now.
You got lots going on there, and stay focused. Just focus on those goals. Everything will be all right.
Yeah, I can see where there's a lot of old issues, but I'm trying to allow myself forgiveness and knowing that I might not know the way, but I'll find it soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, your spirit will guide you.
You're doing amazing.
Your spirit will guide you.
Good.
Where's the edema start? On the shin or on the ankles?
Calves.
Calves?
Yeah.
Going down to your feet?
Oh yeah, my feet look like giant sausages.
Yeah.
And I have a history of this as well because with each of my births, 3 births, they were all surgeries, but my feet swelled up so much that the skin was breaking.
Wow. Okay. Are you massaging those kidneys daily?
No, I haven't. But
Come on, you gotta keep up with that. It's gonna help you.
Your kidneys. Are you doing maybe castor oil packs on your kidneys?
I need to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really.
You need to really nurture the kidneys now.
Yeah. You know what's strange is to me, and why I haven't been so focused on that is that I haven't had any pain lately there. So I haven't gotten that signal like I have been throughout other parts of the fast or while I was fasting. So,
You'd rather have the pain?
well, it's a weird thing, right?
But you should slowing down the detox with food now, right?
It's strange. I mean, I'm going through there's weird stuff. I mean, right now even, I feel so clear-headed. The most clear-headed I've felt in years.
Good.
And how can this be, and I even kind of have an inner energy happening too. My body is telling me something different. My body is exhausted right now and having a hard time doing simple tasks. And then I'm having the edema. So there's a weird dichotomy of things happening.
Yeah, do you know how to do headstands, handstands?
It was on my to-do list of starting the yoga, but I can attempt it now that you mention that.
Yeah, against the wall.
Yeah, I'm light enough to do it now.
Yeah, but nurture those kidneys. It's good that you mentioned you've already had that history, because it's what happens is all the weaknesses come to surface. You started having near the end, the last few weeks on the fast.
Yeah.
So you have to understand what the body, it's repairing that problem. It's regenerating. It's not going to happen the way we want. So we have to assist and let it happen.
It's going deeper.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, eventually when I talk more about it, I have a lot to say about what I've been through physically. But you saw the recent pictures of my hands peeling away now.
Yep. Out with the old, in with the new.
I do like it.
Let's embrace it. It's amazing how the body can rejuvenate. This is you've opened the doors. It's up to you to keep them open now. Whatever, just ride it through. Keep it going. Mentally prepare your next fast, whether it's 6 months, 8 months, whatever. We have a season change coming up. Go for at least a 3, 4, 5 day dry fast, because now you're eating. You should be able to have more confidence in that. Using the tools, whatever, if you need them to assist. Try going for that 5 days. Now the dries are going to really help you. My kidneys love dry fasting.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is my first one now after refeeding myself. So
Good.
Excellent. So just be focused. That you have a lot going on, which it's sad, but hey.
I think that there's a new level of acceptance for what's going on that I have to have, and I haven't reached it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just challenging. Very challenging.
I have to say also too, I ran into some negative outside things being said to me about ending this fast and am I healed yet? And
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
so it's interesting because I'm trying to analyze these things and not take them personally.
It's coming from ignorance.
Yeah.
So don't pay attention to ignorance. You need to understand it takes many years of hard work to get sick. Many years. Daily, continuously, consistent, persistent effort to get ourselves sick, right? Every day. It ain't gonna, nothing's gonna be resolved in 108 days. Just open the doors. We just open the doors. Why do we have so many people on their second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh master fast or more? They're not coming back because of what you're hearing out there. They're coming back because they found something that they can connect to that's making a change that they've never seen anywhere else. That's why they're doing it again. And they're continuing to do it, making it part of their lifestyle. Will everybody make it part of their lifestyle? No. Will everybody understand what we're talking about? No. And that's okay. Some people will remain to choose to be ignorant, even when the information is presented them as basic as we can see. When you're seeing somebody who was born with a crooked leg and it straightens out, I cannot take the blinders off for you to see what's happened there. That's a miracle. The ribs straightened out. The two women with their stomachs from birth that split open and couldn't, and the muscle split open and didn't mend. They both mended on 108 days. Now, if you have any common sense, those are miracles. That's just a couple I've mentioned.
Things that don't
So
normally happen.
when people start saying, oh, after the fast, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. You have to look at what's going on. What are they doing? Most of them, 99.9%, have went back to trying eating to their old habits. And when you do that after a 108-day master fast, which puts your body in a much more efficient, sensitive state, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. And this is where people are not conveying the message enough that we can't go back to 7 days of eating. No, 2 days, two times a day, 7 days a week is even too much. We need to eat maximum 5-6 days a week, maximum.
Lisa, is this new for you, the vegan lifestyle?
I had done pretty much a year of cooked vegan.
Okay, right. So you're pretty new to this whole deep cleansing, right? To the,
Yeah, absolutely.
and so yes, so this is normal, sweetheart. It's normal that you will be encountering these opinions from people, and for you also to react a little bit to them because you're new to this, right? It's also you did a huge detox. I mean, it's the most powerful detox I know, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
So
Part of me wants to just go back on it right now.
yeah, and so your family is shocked, I'm sure, and your friends and whoever is around you is shocked. My family was shocked, and I was like, I was already 5 years, since I started the first raw food, whatever, right? So I was already very different from them. And they learned to accept me over years, and for me to accept them and feel comfortable with each other. So for you, you're a little bit new to this, and it's normal. It's normal. Just, build comfort with these people. And the best thing you can do is just focus on yourself. And it's okay. Don't be upset if somebody judges you. I still have people who judge me. I mean, not really. I mean, they tell me I look very thin or whatever. Every time I do the master fast, I was called anorexic by some people, even my clients, because I work as well. So, I work as a colon hydrotherapist, and if I don't look good, people might not want to come to me because they don't want to look like me, right? So, or they might not want to listen to my suggestions about eating clean and stuff like that because,
yeah.
Well,
but you will get used to it, okay? So just give it time.
How much does cortisol levels, when they elevate during the day, like if a coworker pisses you off or something, how much does that affect us?
We don't know.
Jeffrey, you're asking the wrong guy about numbers and stuff. I don't pay attention to any of that. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Some have 2 or 3.
Well, it seems like my family, they were not liking what I was doing, and it was increasing my cortisol, which was causing me a slower detox. It's like every time you get upset with something, an effect on it.
Yeah, of course.
Family is
emotion and intent is creation.
I have to say, family hurts the most.
Emotion and intent is creation. Environment dictates outcome. Understand that basic principle of creation, and you will know and see why things happen the way they happen. But coming out of these long fasts, we go in, it's one phase of metamorphosis. We come out, we're in another phase of metamorphosis for at least as long as the fast, at least. If some people have posted their eyes. We've had people correcting and healing genetic issues in as little as 50 days. That's unheard of in a short time. It's you really have to step back and wonder. When somebody gives you information that, oh, this is not good and blah blah blah, you're gonna have problems and because of what you did. Like I back up again, you get a crooked leg from birth straightening out, a rib straightening out, and you're telling me that's dangerous. You need another set of blinders. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean,
it's totally ignorant.
You can react to them because that's just natural.
It's just
react to people, but you know what?
Stay away from those people.
But in the long run, you will feel it's easier. It's better not to react, to just understand that you don't think the same way.
Within your heart of what's going on. You don't need me or anybody else to tell you what's happening. you know,
Mm.
and you know, you need to interpret it the way your soul sees it. We have grown at a rate that it boggled my mind, that I have not seen in natural healing out there myself. It's just beautiful of what's happening with all the people sharing and everything. And it gives us the strength because, you know, the results are there, folks. You know, whether you want to see them or not is up to you.
Just focus on yourself.
The magic is
Focus
there.
on yourself.
The magic is there. What do I keep saying? You know, those 9 years, it's a lifetime commitment of persistency and consistency of keeping this as a lifestyle. And if you go back to your old ways of eating, it ain't going to be 9 years. It's going to be 10, 11, 12, 13 until
Whatever.
until
Until you're ready.
You're
Until
ready
you're ready to change.
to live a clean lifestyle of fasting and clean eating. Fasting and clean eating, fasting, clean eating, and leave the old you in the past where all you do is look at it from a point of viewing of that we've learned from it, nothing else. Because, you know, this is where I like to say to people, change everything you do. Everything.
Yeah, why
change the
not?
time you go to sleep. Change the time you wake up. Change your job.
Yeah, Jeff,
Change your car. Change your arrangements in your house.
Jeff, you were saying that you have so much time in your hand. Learn new habits. I mean, all these tools, it takes time to learn, right? It takes time to put them together and get good at all these different tools. My God, breathing exercises takes time, you know.
It's not easy when you're 50. I'm 51, and to change your life, I know what I need to do. It's just executing that is difficult. It just seems like
it's
okay.
if you keep
everybody.
saying it's difficult. Just say it's challenging, and you know, your goals are more important than the challenge.
I don't think it's harder for you than any other person. Habits are habits, you know, and slowly we can change and evolve. Yeah, it's doable. Just like you're fasting right now, you know, it's doable. Yeah. Okay, Lisa, love you. Love you, Lisa.
See you guys
Thank
later.
You, sweetheart.
Thank you.
We're off to, oh wow, we're almost at 2.5 hours. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
Thank
be
you,
shutting down soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know,
So just give yourself time, I think.
yeah, patience is the key. If patience is not something you have, you need to learn it, or just keep doing what you've been doing all your life.
Do what makes you feel good.
Yeah,
that's it. Really, I mean.
Well, doing drugs makes people feel good.
Well, if it makes them feel good, do it. Well, I mean, what can I say? Until one day, maybe they realize it's not the way.
Your videos are definitely motivating us to continue our efforts.
Yeah, this is why, you know, we need a support system. We definitely need that support. I'm here every Saturday as best I can be to try and help support. You know, we get people who have done the fast to share their experiences, because that's key. Everybody resonates with somebody differently. Not everybody will resonate with me, but they may resonate with any other person that shares their experience. And we've had quite a few share their stories already, and we want
inspire each other. We teach each other.
It's amazing listening to other people's stories and how it's affected them in their life. But you know, we're here to help as best we can. We don't have all the answers, but
nobody does.
we're able to. We've been able to expand quite a bit at what's been achievable in health for people. It's just remarkable what's happening. We'll only grow from here. Plasma science is what's the driving force behind Master Fasts, whether you believe it or not. Intent and emotion is everything, folks. Intent and emotion is everything. Write your goals. It's magic of the pen, the power of the pen. Write your goals. Honestly, just write them. Keep adding to them. Keep changing. Whatever you want to do, just keep writing them. That's another thing you can do, Jeffrey. Make a diary. You got a lot of time to write. Believe you me, it's magical, magical. So we'll call it a night. It's a long one, and we'll see you guys next week, I guess. Wednesdays on Facebook, I'm doing Q&As for an hour. It was at 6:03. I'm moving it to 3:06 to see if we can help some people in the other time zones like Europe and so on and so forth, because people were complaining, oh, I'm always sleeping. So I'm going to do it at 3:06, I believe, this coming Wednesday, hopefully, and see if we can help some more people there. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night or day or wherever you are.
Ciao.